Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mike up with Gus. I'm Gus. You know what it is. We're gonna have some fun today. Today, I got my little brother from another mother, which we probably don't like because neither one of us like our mothers. So fuck our mothers. We're on some Slim
And
Shady
it's
shit.
hard to say that we're doing this.
My little brother, Christopher Disney, owner, booker of One Ring Circus and Rising Star Wrestling out in San Diego, which is my sister promotion of Rising Star Wrestling out in Oklahoma. They started out in San Diego. I'm branching off out in Oklahoma. We'll get into all that later. What I wanted to get into with Christopher Disney was just his life and in general, and just maybe just bullshit with him about some nerdy things because I'm all back into like this Marvel thing because of like I'm getting become a nerd, Diz. You should be proud of me, man. I'm like nerding out again, or not nerding out again, but like
Enjoying it.
enjoying my nerdness, bro.
Have
Like
you watched the cartoon,
have I watched what?
the X-Men 7 yet?
Oh, X-Men 97.
Yeah,
That's on Disney, right?
yeah.
Is that a remake or
No. So,
are those the
backstory,
originals?
backstory on that was the last season of the '90s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through, because of Marvel going through all the bankruptcy and Fox just being stupid,
Uh-huh.
like half the original cast, like animators and voice actors, bounced. So they had to like get new people to voice certain characters and new animators. So that's why there's like a slight shift in some of the episodes from the '90s last series. And then they just picked up right where the last episode left off with as much of the original cast and artists as possible.
So this is just a continuation?
It's just a continuation. It's like a 4 month, like 4 months has passed technically from when we last saw it in '97 and it went off the air to the first episode.
Oh. See, I'm not like see, I didn't know that part. So I'm like that's why I was like, where's I need my inner nerd to like come out, you know? I'm
The
This is it
last
right here, right?
episode,
This is it, right? The trailer.
yes, and it's just like the trailer doesn't do it justice. But the fact that they brought back the old song and everything was so cool.
So everyone our age is like just going right back to like some nostalgic fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you get home from school type shit.
Well, from what I'm hearing,
Greetings, enemy mine.
because this has
Might I induce you
gotten
to a change of heart?
such good reviews,
Louis,
and
I think this is the
they're
beginning
going
of a
to
beautiful involuntary friendship.
relaunch the Spider-Man from the '90s
Oh, I heard about that too.
because that one just dropped on a cliff. At least the X-Men one,
Mm-hmm.
it left on the whole like Xavier's dead.
You're
Dead.
such a nerd, Disney. I like. I could probably sit here. I could just sit here and be like, Wolverine. You're like, all right, so check this out. His fucking claws are. But no, I've been enjoying my
I
nerdness.
have to have more. I have to have more about me than just fucking wrestling.
Hey, all you nerds got into wrestling. That's how it happens, you know.
Hey, I
And
mean, you're a horror nerd. Look, wrong way.
like that.
That is old as fuck.
Like that. Like that.
Where did you find that?
It was a gift from the same dude who gave me the poster, the WrestleMania poster. I don't know if I showed you that. Remember Alan Scallon? You remember Alan Scallon?
Oh, fucking our buddy Alan.
Yeah, the our ring guy that used to do all the ring cleanup and shit. Shout out to
Yeah.
Alan Scallon. Yeah, he gave me a couple cool things. Always kept in touch with him. But like, dude, if I turned my camera around and you saw my room set up, like it's insane. Like just just that little bit right there. So anyway, what's up, Diz? How you doing?
It's fucking wrecked, tired.
All right, tired. Yeah.
Service industry is not the industry to be working in during Mother's Day.
Disney. Disney works at a high class Italian restaurant out of the city of Chula Vista. He's been there for nearly a decade as one of the top managerial staples of that center. He is the.
You cannot say this shit with a straight face.
No, I can't. Hey, I
Because
worked
you
there. Hey,
used
I worked there too. Goddamn it, I had fun when I worked there. I ain't gonna lie. I work. Hey, yo, I used to work at LaBella's Arcade as security slash dude that sat at the counter and made fun of everyone slash played video games all day slash got paid pretty good money to just sit there slash all that.
yeah, people still ask me about you all the damn time.
Hey, man, that was fun. Disney, you you have a rich history in San Diego professional wrestling, meaning we've talked about this a little bit, and we spoke the other day. Technical difficulties. We won't get into that, but something you had brought up, something you had brought up that I've always been aware of, and then you brought it up the other day, and it was like, you know what, you remember a lot of dates and a lot of the history of San Diego wrestling, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because like that's one of the things that you're just ultimately into is just wrestling. So it's like the thing that's local to you is like, well, I'm gonna remember all these dates because you remember things that me and you have done that I'm like, wait, what the fuck? You know, and you're like, look, dude, look, I got video. I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember none of that. But you have definitely been a staple of San Diego wrestling as far as remembering this, remembering that, who came from where, this, that, and the other. Like, you could probably sit down and write a book about San Diego wrestling, and you would just need some of the homies to fill in the gaps. But you could pretty much write a good, pretty book about that. Why? Why are you like that?
It's numbers and dates, numbers and dates. I'm good with numbers and dates.
Hey, man, I
It's
guess so. You know,
it's give me something I'm interested in, I'll remember it.
when was the first date you trained?
August 4th, 2007.
When was your first match?
November 10th, 2007.
Months later? Yarder. No. um,
Oh, yo,
where was your first match at?
the Boys and Girls Club at downtown.
Against who?
Anchors Away
Anchors Away. So it was a tag match,
with me and Johnny Yuma,
aka,
Johnny Mahalo.
and you guys were called.
Surf's up.
Surf's up, bro. Disney and Johnny Yuma used to be a tag team that was out of what? What was the school we you guys were trained at? We all trained at for a little bit. New Wave.
New Wave Pro.
New Wave Pro. Is that where you started?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that all come about?
Um, they fucking threw up their first like couple shows earlier in 2007, and was like, I met them through other promotion that had a school that they broke off from, and I was like, hey, are you guys going to open up a school? And they're like, yeah, just
Would that have been SAW?
yeah, yeah.
We're hey man, I was a part of SAW. I was a part of New Wave Pro Wrestling. I actually
I
owned New Wave Pro. No, I didn't. When I say I own New Wave Pro Wrestling, I didn't own it, but for like fucking what, like 2 weeks with Vince.
but like that's the one thing I always like wonder with my career is like I all the shit I hear about Rapata, like everyone
weird he was.
everyone always praises like his technical mind. Like
Yeah, he was
the
good.
the rest of his mind was fucking gone from what I hear.
That's because
But like his technical like intricacies and psychology in the ring, and I was like, I would have loved to learn from this guy and be able to say like, hey, former NWA champion was part of my training.
Hey man, He was a part of my training, but I never like. Not that I claim it. I just he taught me he taught me a different shit. Hey, you want to hear micropod? Can I tell a micropod story?
Go ahead.
Hang on. Let me. I'm talking to somebody right now. I'm trying to get on right now. Anyway, so Micro Potter used to train us. If you guys don't know who Micro Potter was, he used to be in WCW. He was the Colorado kid. Micro Potter came to San Diego. He opened a school. He had all these fucking crazy, wacky, motherfucking, out of this world ideas, and uh, he opened the school up in his backyard, up in like Oceanside and shit. And I became like I became a friend of his outside of the school, and I saw like there's so much going like they had a little group meeting one time. There was like this fucking like not too long ago, like they got together and talked about SAW, and I was not even a part of that, which I thought was fucking funny because I know more shit than any of them really. Anyway, um,
I remember
micropod
this.
micropoda, and I'm putting this out. Micropoda one time, man, he was one of the greatest weed smokers that I ever hung out with in wrestling. He was one of the like when I say that he was just like he's one of those dudes like, all right, man, let's roll this up and smoke this, and then he started telling you all his stories, and some of his stories were just who gives a shit, but his delivery was so fucking good. Check this shit out, man. One time we're on the fucking freeway, right? And we're driving. He's driving. I'm in the fucking passenger seat, right? This motherfucker looks and goes, "Hey, man," because he did this thing with his fucking like he talked like this, right? So, "Hey, man, grab the weed out there out the bag right there." I'm like, "All right." So I grab the weed, and he's driving and he's talking. He's like, "Put it in my hand." I'm like, "All right." I'm not questioning nothing. Like I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." So I put in his hand. Now I start questioning shit because he reaches in his pocket and he grabs a fucking paper and he sticks it in his mouth and he starts driving. Right. Next, you know, he starts grinding his fucking hand like this. I look over. I'm like, I knew what he was about to do, and I was like, "There's no way he's really about to do this." He starts driving. He's like, we're driving on the freeway, like I said, like 90 miles an hour. This motherfucker just goes like this. All of a sudden, that weed is grinded up. Throws the paper in his mouth, and like just throws it in his hand. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and goes like this. Here, man, like that. This motherfucker handed me a joint so perfect, like he did everything in his hand. Here, man, like that. I was like, son of a bitch. Wouldn't teach me how to chain wrestle, but showed me how to roll a joint with one hand. And I asked him, I said, "Where the fuck did you learn that?" He go, "You don't want to know, man." But Micropoda was definitely one of those guys that I wish I would have paid attention to more. I wish I would have like utilized what he was offering. A lot of us fucked that off, I think. So, um, yeah, that's where the school that you came from. That's where all that branched off. We all like moved on and kind of got away from him and shit like that. And what was the first? Where was the first school that you were at? Was it the backyard in Spring Valley?
It was the backyard in Terrasana,
Terrasana. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, that's right. And then they moved it over to fucking
Spring Valley.
Spring Valley. Yeah, that was there was a piece of shit move on their end. I don't know. Were you there when they made me say sorry for having weed in my bag one time? I know we keep bringing up weed. It was funny. Were you there when I had to apologize for that? Like, and it was just the dumbest thing because I'm going somewhere with this because they're hypocritical sacks of shit. Fucking Andy. Anyway, um, yeah, me and Andy still never talked anything out. He's just one of those dudes who hides behind a teacher's legs, pokes at you, and be like, "What? What's your problem?" So anyway, do you remember that? Do you remember when Andy like made me fucking apologize for bringing or having weed in my bag or something?
I think this was after they kicked me out.
Is it? Yeah, they were on
Yeah.
some weird ass power trip, man. But here's the thing: is they asked me to apologize for bringing or having weed in my bag at a show, and not even 2 weeks later, Andy comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, go talk to the owner of the house," because we was like, you know, we're in just some lady's backyard or some shit. He's like, "Hey man, go talk to them. They smoke weed. Maybe if you like smoke with them and give them some weed, they'll give us a discount." I was like, "Motherfucker, 2 weeks ago you just told me to apologize to everyone for not having or for bringing weed in my bag." And I'm like, "Bro, everyone brings weed in their fucking bag." Anyway, but
Weed, Coke,
Hey,
Sal
no,
juice.
not me, sir. I did not do the cabinet, sir, and you know that.
I never said you did. I'm just
Uh,
saying there's a
yeah,
lot of motherfuckers bringing a lot of shit
yeah, and it's like you
to
trying to tell
their
me to
shows.
fucking trying to tell me to fucking say something about some weed. But so those are some of your humble beginnings at training. Is that the only place you trained at?
Um, went up to SoCal Pro, was part of Battle U.
What's Battle U? What the fuck was that? That sounds like a sack of shit piece of school. I was kidding.
I mean, let's not even get on that one.
No, that's I mean Battle U was definitely my baby, and that was the school that I opened under FCW, and it's something that I was very proud of. And uh, do are like everyone believes that like Casey and Hops were like the first students to sign up. Really, it was you. And I told you this the other day. I was like, nah, bro. The first person that said they were on it was fucking Disney. Like I'm there for the Battle U school. Man, I remember all the fucking hoodies and shirts and everything came in at that was it the Mariachi Fest we did, and then everything came in.
Oh God, you remember that day though?
Oh man, when we started like 3 in the fucking morning.
No, and then like we couldn't get half our guys because of a fucking bomb threat.
Biagio, Donnie Suarez, Eli, that crew, I think got uh stopped like right at the gate, and they had just drove like fuck what 2 or 3 hours down from L.A. I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember, and it was not even a bomb threat. It was just like somebody fucking around and like
their backpack
nothing.
was just left around.
Something dumb, something fucking dumb. But man, me and you, we did a lot of pop up shows. We more like I think we did more pop-up shows than FCW shows together. Like there was a lot of FCW shows, but there was just as many pop-up shows. There was just as many like
The pop up shows I got to wrestle on. That's why it might seem that way. The FCW shows I didn't.
not my well, my fault,
I,
not my fault. You know what I mean? I listened to the wrong people. I've always apologized for that. But the pop-up shows were fun, man. One of the shows that you didn't get to work to this day, and I still feel bad because I don't know why I didn't have you work it, or I don't I honestly know what happened that day, and I remember the person that was with me. I was very upset with. But remember the birthday party we did, like in the middle of fucking nowhere, and we had to
oh,
drive up.
that's the one. That's one show I try to forget about because I still kind of am pissed. I spent like my whole fucking day like doing shit, but I didn't get to fucking play. Everyone else got to fucking play, but
I'm,
I
s-
didn't get to fucking play.
I was paying
And I could have
attention to
stayed at
something
home
else.
and
But did you eat good?
no,
You didn't eat the pig?
I didn't get any. I didn't get any. I didn't get shit.
How did you not eat with us? We all ate at the same time. Me, Eli, everyone ate at the same time.
I was
You
passed
rode
out in
with
the
us.
fucking car.
Were you?
Yeah, I wasn't wrestling, so I might as well fucking took a nap.
Ah, shit, I don't remember that then. All I remember is we did this dude's birthday, or we did this dude's kid's birthday party, and there was like what 10 kids. We did a private birthday party. And it was like 10 kids and like 20 adults, and they buried a pig for us the day before.
All
Why?
fucking hammered.
Huh?
They were all fucking hammered.
Everyone was. I just remember it was like a long ass drive.
Yeah, because it's up in like Ramona somewhere.
It was in Ramona, wasn't it?
Because I remember we fucking like instead of going straight like you would to go to like Santa Isabel or whatever, we
Uh-huh.
made that turn over by like where Main Street ends in Ramona.
Oh yeah. We were way the fuck out there, huh? Nothing like way the fuck out in Willows though. Shout out
Oh
to
my
Willows.
fucking god, that drive.
There's a bunch of people probably wondering, like, okay, Gus has got some weird ass shirt on, says Willows, California. You had to have been there, baby. Blue Gum Motel. Probably still to this day, one of our craziest, funniest wrestling stories, one of our funniest wrestling trips that me and Disney have ever been on together. And we've been on a lot of adventures together throughout our. Uh-oh. We're taking a station identification break. This pause is brought to you by
Uber
Matt.
Eats?
Did you just get food? You motherfucker. You gonna
What?
what'd you get? You fucking bastard.
Cellulitas?
Bro, there ain't nothing Eatas out here at all in Oklahoma. There's no Ota. There's nothing that like Roberto's. There's no Odos. There's nothing that ends. No, I don't have anything good out here, bro.
You
Nothing.
what? You don't even have good barbecue?
Haven't I don't want to. I don't want to get upset at good bar. Like no. There's a barbecue place down the street from my house, and I still haven't gone to it. There's actually a place out here when you get out here. We're gonna take you there, and it's called
Little darlings.
yeah. Those are the deja vu drinks. Um, no, it's called Del Rancho. They make these chicken fried steak sandwiches. Holy fuck, bro. Like they're so good. And they have like this home style gravy that comes with like this comes like a vat of gravy. It's so fucking good, bro. So good. So god. Anyway, why you eat your fucking taco shop that I can't have? Hey, but you did buy me a burrito when I came down for FCW versus ORC, which I actually want to talk about a little bit because there was a lot of passing of the torch that night from me to you. Me and you had a lot of history that happened in that ring. Um, a very emotional night because everything that me and you have done together in wrestling and as friends and all that shit, not saying it all came to an end, but there was a lot of chapters that me and you been through that closed that night and it was super emotional. And that a lot of people that were there that actually knew us and seen it. You can eat if you want, by the way. I don't care, fucker. I know that's what you're waiting for, you son of a bitch. That's why this is my little brother. I can see it in his face. He's like, I'm hungry, fucking hungry.
I've been around everyone else's fucking food all day.
Hey, but shit. What was I saying?
FCW versus ORC emotional weekend.
Emotional weekend. It was just everything that we talked.
Malicito calling us gay.
Nah, hey, yeah. Yeah. Fabe, but you know, you know that was probably one of the moments that that just solidified our friendships that we've had for so long between each other in this business. You know what I mean? And there's critics and opinions out there that I've recently have talked to that a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are just in the shit for the buddy buddy and to hang out with your friends and shit like that. But it's like that's not really what I was in wrestling for. It's just that I accumulated so much friendship with certain people like you know, with Maldicito, Matt Twisted, SoCal Crazy. You guys are my brothers. You know what I mean? And now my second generation of brothers, and you know, you've seen this. You've seen me with my OGs, and then you see me with like Motros and Sean Black, and you know, I got my other guys, but you know, like Motros has become one of my brothers as of late too. But you guys were like the ones that were always around, and we were always friends, and we became good friends. So anything that me and Disney talk about poured out and came out at that FCW ORC show. Um, I think it started off as me making. I was literally at work, and I just looked down at my phone. I was like, "What if FCW versus ORC?" Da-da-da-da. And then within like what 5 hours, me and you were like, "All right, well, let's do this."
So it was
Well, Mr. Dates over here.
no. Because I remember this conversation as because in it with your shirt. Fucking, I was driving you up Mount Son of a bitch.
I just got sick right now thinking about that motherfucker. See?
to
Yeah.
to fucking um
Yeah.
to meet
Compound.
up with Charles to go up to Willows because you guys were going to go up that night, beat all the traffic and all that bullshit. It was like one of the last scouting things or whatever you guys were fucking doing up there.
Hmm.
And you're like, "Hey Disney, what if we did this?" And I was like, "Fuck it."
Hey, man, it was fun. I had a good time at the show. Um, Booking it was definitely different. There's a few bookings that didn't go how according to plan. SoCal Crazy ended up going to Japan. Sam Knight, shoot job ended up getting in the way a little bit and just didn't want to make. The dude would have had to missed like half a day's work without no sleep, and it was like not even. It was not worth it. So hopefully we get Sam down to San Diego before he retires next year. It's a different story. Um, but a lot of what me and Disney went through together as brothers in the business, from like LLII shows to fucking shows that we did and like parking lots, and I mean we've done so much together. It all came out at that FCW ORC show, and anybody that was there that had followed any of our history or knows any of us as friends, they saw all the emotion that night. And I mean, it sucked because I did all that, had all that emotion, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then jumped on a fucking Greyhound bus hours later and came back home, or it took 3 days to get back home. That was the worst fucking trip back home, by the way. But um, lead like that story right there leads into how everything started between me and you. You know what I mean? Like how we were on shows together, how we did LLI together, we're going up to Oscars and playing around, and him giving us opportunity after opportunity to fucking do fun shit. You know what I mean? Um, we used to go up there a lot. You used to go up there a lot with like guys like Rick Ellis, Robert Hall, which those are some of your humble beginnings. If you want to like, oh, a little bug try to zap me in the eye. Um, I remember you guys had a ring in Rick Ellis's backyard before like you guys or before you even started training, right?
Yeah, that's why, like, me, that's part of the reason why me and Rick Ellis, it was only 3 months to our debut
Mm.
because class was 3 days a week, and the 2 day Tuesdays and Thursdays we were in the backyard.
Mhm. With the
Just
orange tree. Oh,
yeah.
I remember the orange tree, bro. We used to fuck those things up. And then you know what used to piss me off about that is, are we calling him Rick Ellis or are we calling him Danny?
Does it matter?
Not really. Um, we
It's
used to
just it's just we need to get things straight because we start talking about another Danny. Do we call him by his shoot?
right. What used to piss me off about Danny though, Rick Ellis, and I hope you see this, Brick, Danny, is used to launch these fucking oranges into the fucking into like the canyon. And I'm like, why do you do that? These are orange. You have good oranges back. You're like, fuck these things. Like, were
Oh,
you?
his fucking I baseball. I think was always his first love,
Oh, bro, you could tell through his children, man. Like his boys look just like his ass. It looks
and
just like him.
and like wrestling. I think he knew he wasn't like ever going to fucking hit the majors when it came to baseball, so he went to the second one, which was wrestling. And if it wasn't for his knees, he probably would be somewhere right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I see it. I see Danny if because his size wasn't so big, but he was such a good wrestler and like he had good facials and good like he was man he had so much fucking potential, man. But I think his size would have like kind of like maybe inhibited a little bit like in the majors, like because AEW wasn't around at the time. So you got to think if he were to have hit anything, if Danny would have probably stayed in it, Rick, as much as he could have, I can almost see him as like a referee. The way he moved and how fast he was and how like, you know what I mean? Like he could sell a match as a ref, and that's no disrespect. You know what I mean? But he just had good size for as if he was going to go anywhere. Like I say that about like Gino Rivera too. Like one day, I just see Gino at WrestleMania refing matches and getting that match over off the way he sells and the way he has good knowledge of wrestling. You know, so but I remember that ring in the backyard. I remember you guys having that back there. I remember like being kind of jealous and going back there one day. I'm like, what the fuck's going? Like, you guys have a ring back here? Like, this is legit. Like, hell yeah. Um, but then I think somebody fucked off and fucked around and stole that ring.
So
Is your I see your cat is upset about this story as well.
so Danny was looking to get rid of it. I shoot him a grand since we've all me and all the other guys helped him. Right? Originally, he was going to sell it to someone who wasn't a part of the crew for like $2,500 or whatever. But he hit me up. He's like, "Do you want it? I'll sell it to you for a grand since you've already paid someone to do it anyways." Did that. Guy I was running with at the time, who
Hey, time out.
said,
Time out. Time out. You're roboting right now. You have Wi-Fi issues again.
"You sure it's just not?"
I'm fine.
I know. I see you're fine. You sure it's just not how I am?
No, it's like glitching. I can see it. Keep talking. You're good.
Okay. But trusted a guy I shouldn't have trusted to fucking store it, and then
And that would be can I say his name?
yeah, you can say his name.
DJ Anderson, aka the piece of shit who used to be the owner of what AWA or something like that. He used to rip off all the old like gimmicks from the Midwest and act like he was like bro. Didn't he say he was like the original Four Horsemen or some shit like that? What did he say he was?
What was it? Like one of the things he tried to get over was that he was like legit Arn's nephew or cousin or some shit.
What the fuck?
I mean,
Jesus, that just sounds dumb. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Disney had a ring. Unfortunately, this dude DJ DJ DJ's bullshit actually coincides with an interview story that or a story that I did with or a story from the interview with Sam Knight. And that was the night that Pops had talked to me and pulled me to the side and was like, like everything's going to be okay. DJ is the one who subleased me the venue and said that everything was good to go. And we showed up to the venue and the lady's like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no wrestling tonight. And there's literally kids pulling up, a birthday party's pulling up. Jeff Dino's there with the ring, like everything, like wrestlers, everyone's there, and they're telling me that we can't have a show because this guy subleased us, and I had to show all these like emails, like, look, man, look, I paid the guy, and I remember they came out, they went in and had a meeting, and they came out like what, 20 minutes later, and they're like, in order for us to hand you the key, we need $2,000, and I was like, what? And I just looked at everybody, and I was like. And that's when Sam Knight's father, Pops, rest in peace, pulled me to the side and was like, look, man, gave me a speech. And that was that, And then we ended up having a show. I don't know if me and you wrestled or if that was the one that you refed me and Matt Twisted.
I refed.
You refed? You wrestled, though, right?
I wrestled a cat named Vance Lamborghini. You remember that? You remember whose gimmick that was?
Are you like? Well, I know, but are you serious?
Yeah,
Vance, like he was on that show. Oh shit!
Because originally it was supposed to be me versus Robert Hall,
Okay.
in a hair versus beard match.
Was he gonna lose the beard?
No, I was going to lose the hair.
Ah, gotcha. Wow. Vance Lamborghini, huh? Damn, you really do have it. Who else was on that show?
I'm trying to remember if that was a show where Sam fought Cooter and
Rick Ellis.
yeah.
I want to say so. I want to believe so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. But those were some of our humble beginnings. Those are some of the times that we would still work a crowd of what? How many people were there? 20 people,
If that.
if that. And 10 of them were like coworkers and friends of mine and shit. You know what I mean? And then the rest of them were like family members and stuff. Man, we had some very very slow beginnings, and one of the things that I always praise you is like you stuck with the wrestling scene. And then when I decided to like fully engage in FCW and like what was that, the second rebrand, the first rebrand, when we did the Young Bucks and everything?
Second.
Second. So Disney was a part of literally my biggest error in FCW, and one of the reasons why Disney's literally a key element to why FCW ran as far as it did and as long as it did. Um, if it weren't for you mentally, financially, and just being a fucking somebody who goes, all right, man, let's just get it done. Like we would not have had as many shows as we did. Like you were pretty much a fucking owner, but not. You were the logistics manager, as much as we joked about that shit, it was true though, man. The logistics were handled by Disney, and anybody can sit here and talk some shit, but it's like, bro, like I didn't want to handle all the small things, and Disney did, and we had fun, man. We had some fun fucking times at FCW shows, and the fans were fun, the workers were fun, like I know it sucks that you got held back on some things, apologize for that. Always have, always will. But we had good times, man. You got to, I'm not putting it like, oh, I put you in these positions, but you got to like hang out with
I made some good friends I still have with Mike and Bill.
Mike and Bill. Man, Mike and Bill was our sound and light guys who literally volunteered great amount of time to make us as a whole look good. Not me, look good, not FCW, all of us. We all looked good as a whole when they would show up. These guys would throw up lights and sound, and like they would do all the like if your music had certain beats, they would like coincide the lights with it. Was cool, man. They did their job, and it was just awesome to have them around. And I wish that they would continue to work with uh a lot of promotions out here because they have a lot of good equipment, and they're just good, fun, fucking people to have around. Bill and Mike were always good fucking people to have around, and
People just don't want to pay their rate, which like their rates aren't that bad, especially because they're not asking you to supply a crew. They'll do it themselves.
right,
But it's better when you supply a crew.
it is very. But no, we had a lot of good times, man. Like you met a lot of good guys, a lot of good wrestlers that you would think should have been dickheads, you know what I mean, or should have just not like talked to you or anything like that. But we met we booked a lot of good people. Did you ever go to Mexico with us? Oh, never mind. Not my fault.
Sidetracking that, the last thing you mentioned, I threw on SmackDown at the restaurant on Thursday. And I'm just sitting there watching it occasionally, rolling silverware, seeing people their seats. And then I forget what the name of this new stable is with the Authors of Pain.
I know who you're
But
talking about though.
But I look up and I see Cross, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, like a legit pop. And I was like, "I know that guy. That shit's awesome."
Yeah, man. Cross. I'm gonna say it again. Killer Cross is by far one of the most intimidating professional wrestlers I've ever met in my life. And when I say that, the dude's vocabulary and how he speaks to you, you're just like captivating, man. You're just like, damn, man, like, wow. Very intelligent man, very smart individual when it comes to the business. Very underused right now. I hopefully this is all going somewhere with him. But Cross was one of the most professional dudes that came to FCW, and and it's crazy too, because like he has a demeanor about himself, like hey, if he brings up something, he doesn't want to push the promoter. You could tell he's like he's still a pro wrestler. He knows that there's boundaries and limits with everyone, and he doesn't like pushing them. And he's just like, hey, I got this idea, and it's like, bro, you like bring this like vibe of like, I don't want to bring this up, and it's like, what if I were to get mad? What if I were to like, nah, Cross, I ain't gonna say that shit, bro. You can literally just go like this and kill me, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just funny to me sometimes that how professional he is. It's like, man, it's like, what if somebody were to just be like, nah, bro, fuck you. You have no idea this dude will destroy you. But nah, Cross was always a good dude. When he was at Lucha Underground, I got to talk to him a lot when he was out there doing his thing. And like I missed those guys. You know what I mean? Reno Scum. You know what I mean? We had fun with Reno Scum when they were down here. I know you had a blast hanging out with those guys.
I fucking loved being their handler and just driving them around. Real cool dudes.
What was some of the like? Who's some of your other favorite guys that we used to bring in the FCW?
Cholo was always cool. Same thing with Loco. Like
Shout out
anytime I had
Cholo.
to,
Shout out Loco.
anytime I had to pick up either one of them, like would just sit there, talk with them, pick their brain, just figure like where I stand in the scheme of things based off their knowledge and whatnot.
Yeah, man. Dude, Famous B. Man. I remember having Famous B around.
Famoso.
Famous Obey. Famous Obey. That dude killed it, bro. Like, dude from Mexico, when he was like, I can speak Japanese, we're like, what? And he did that whole promo. I was like, damn, bro. Straight and I wish I had that video too. Famous Obey. Oh man. Twisted Sisters, Holly Dead. Miss Holly Dead, man. You need to book Holly Dead, bro. I'll help you pay. I'll help you pay. We'll get on the horn with Holly Dead right now and be like, hey, bro, ORC needs you down there. Speaking of ORC and all this stuff, let's get into this, Mr. Disney. After all the years spending behind the scenes with FCW, after spending all this time in local promotions and working with, you know, certain guys that maybe like you shouldn't have ever worked with, but you did learn a lot. I know deep down you learned a lot working with me. I may have taught you the wrong things, may have taught you some right things. All I know is you took all of what you learned and said, you know what? I'm going to go slow roast a promotion. And I say that in a very respectful way. Um, Meaning you didn't jump in like I did a slow roast on my promotion, but then when my rebranding came, it was like, okay, I'm going to go from like small under $1,000 budget to $8,000 budget, and that's
Boom.
and then boom, you know what I mean. But you have slow roasted this thing into something good, meaning you're able to do what monthly shows right now. Now you're up to doing not only monthly shows but like twice a month shows now with another brand. You're getting out there wrestling more and stuff like that. And it might be because you're a promoter, it might be because you're on more of shows lately, but whatever the case may be, you took everything that you learned over the years and you said, "Fuck it, it's my time." When did that all come about, and why did it all come about? For One Ring Circus was obviously the first promotion that was primarily yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
When was when did that all come about?
Like after the pandemic, after dealing with fucking clowns, for lack of a better term.
Fuck Mikey Gordon.
Bless you. Um,
You guys want to hear a serious story? Once upon a time, there was a clown named Mikey Gordon who's a big sack of coke using shit. So anyway,
it's like even like working with him when we were at Joe's La Mesa,
Mhm.
the general manager there, guy named Joey, real cool fucking dude. Actually has in his possession the original Fist TV, the Fist title, because Mikey booked some guys. They broke a TV. Mikey wasn't going to pay for the TV, so Joey just fucking former Marine, big fucking tall, fucking like biker Mexican dude, walks up, grabs the belt, throws it in his office. But like he was be like, why don't you run it? I'd rather deal with you. You fucking keep everything clean. And I'm like, I don't have the funds. I don't want to run something without making sure that the boys are paid.
Right.
And I want to make sure that I'm paying these guys what they're asking for or what they're comfortable working for me for.
Right.
Because I know certain guys give me discounts and stuff just because they've known me for fucking ever, and they know I've become guaranteed monthly work. But no, I just got sick and tired of doing everything for everyone and having nothing to show for it. Like, I'm always the go-to guy when shit fucking goes sideways and we need to fix it real quick. But when it comes time to fucking handing out the rewards, I'm always the one left with basically his dick in his hand. So,
But isn't
I
that
was
a big reward?
but god damn you guys. It
Who is bothering us?
the tiny tot.
Ah.
She probably wants to get picked up. No.
Go get mom. Go get mom, son of a bitch. He ain't gonna feed us.
But I do all this work. No one really gives a shit or fucking gives me my accolades. And I'm like, all right, so why do all the work for everyone else when I could do it for myself? And happen to run like-minded with guy I run ORC with Matt, who had the same, like, me and him hand in hand. We did for Fist what I did for FCW. Other than financially, nothing was coming out of our pockets, but also financially, nothing was coming into our pockets either.
I know how that goes. I spent $75,000 on FCW when it was all said and done. Over the 5 years that we ran, I spent 75 grand, and I think we had you tallied up about 4 grand
So about 80,000.
for wrestling college. Yeah, that fucking sucks.
I mean, look at the benefits I've been able to.
Hey, you know what? Some of that will benefit off the shit. I'm just glad that you took the reins and decided to, do something with the local talent that wasn't laying around. And a lot of people have their opinions on the local talent and being not trained and stuff like that. And like I've accused you of using certain guys and you shouldn't be using, but for the most part, though, you are doing something that a lot of people in San Diego aren't doing, and that's just being consistent with your shows um and a lot of people don't understand, like, it's nice to have a promotion that when you get there, the comfortability level is already there. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get paid. You're
Because
gonna
half
have.
the time when you fucking see me, first time you see me, it's a handshake and here's your envelope. Now I got other more important shit to do. Go have fun. Go over your match.
You don't have to pick somebody up, do you? Make sure you don't. Make sure we're not doing this during an emergency, sir. And we can always pause. Dee, nee, 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 nee. Nee, 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 nee. Dee, nee, 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 nee. This is brought to you by. Oh, I didn't get to do it. Where's it at? Where's the overlay? There we go. Rising Star Entertainment Group. But back to okay, so you got One Ring Circus going. You guys started off at what was the first venue you guys started off at?
PIB, Pacific
PIB,
Islander Beer Company.
Pacific Island. That was outside. Man, we had some. There's some funny ass stories out of that place. We had some good times at that place.
You almost
Uh,
killed an old man.
Sit up straight, sir. God damn it! I almost did what?
You almost killed an old man.
He wasn't that old. Was that the dude that parked in my way?
I don't remember what he did. I just remember he came at you disrespectful as fuck.
Is that the dude I said here? Record this because it's about to be funny.
Yeah,
You still have that?
I maybe.
Don't look for it right now because I'll make you show it. But no, so yeah, so One Ring Circus is up and running. You got PIB going. Um, now I remember what it was it was the anniversary show. That was the last show that we did at PIB. I was announcing for your shows already. No, am I wrong?
No. You're right. It's just I try to forget the anniversary show because of all the bullshit.
That was the
That
day
was.
at the old man, though, right? That was the same day, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, okay. So Disney's booking this shit consistently with the Pacific Islander Brewing Company, who's now shut down for obvious reasons because obviously they didn't have their shit together. And I'll put that out there. They just clearly didn't have it together.
Oh no, I found that out through my old general manager at work that they try to get them to be the beer of the month one month, and they were like, "Well, can we only fill half the quota?" And it's like, no, we need the entire fucking
Right.
10 kegs if you want to be beer of the month.
They double booked on our anniversary show. So what is it? We had to use. How was just dumb, man? The whole day was just dumb.
The thing I hate about them is they're like they had the audacity to look me in my face and said, "We didn't know you guys were coming back." And I was like, "How the fuck did you not know when I gave you the insurance for September in June and told you we will be back?" It's
Just some
just
of
I
the.
wasn't going to force the boys to wrestle out in the East County heat.
And now you guys are running AleSmith Brewery consistently monthly, right?
Yep.
Hey, by the
And
way, do you have to get your sister?
no, she said never mind.
Okay. And how's that? I know how it's going for you. AleSmith Brewery is going real good for you. I think you guys should do. I think you guys need to jump into more marketing with them. That's always been my strong opinion. I think there should be little things that you guys should team up on as far as like flyers and posters and just generally getting involved with every customer that walks in there, just giving them a fucking ticket. That's just you have open opportunity at this place. If nobody knows about AleSmith Brewery, they've been around a long time. They're in Mira Mesa or Miramar, right? They're Miramar, in San Diego, and they produce a lot of beers that are used. Hey, come here. You want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Hi, little man. Little
It's baby.
man. PB, the PB whip. Hi, little man. So they produce a lot of like the beers that are for the Padres. Hi. For the Padres and stuff. So I think you guys have a lot of opportunity to do some like good things with them. But you guys are doing good things now. Like you guys are packing that house back there. You guys have a consistent crowd right now. You got a lot of people working for you that want to work for you. You got people from like what Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico coming out. You're showcasing guys that like Southern California has never seen before. Which is something that I wish I would have done a little bit better at. Not just focusing on like the bigger names and all that shit. You've been focusing on like, hey, what are you doing out in Arizona? You doing some shows? You wrestling? Cool. I have an opportunity for you in San Diego, and these guys have been taking the drives to come take those opportunities with you. I've
Oh, you
noticed
mean Drake and the boys?
Drake and the Boy, a lot of them though. But I mean, there's you've had
No,
you've had
so those three, Drake,
uh
Scott, and Mojo, those three, I in a backwards way have you to thank for,
Hershey.
because they came out for Bob Evans' seminar,
Ah,
and I've been utilizing them ever since.
because they've been on it, huh? Come here. Them a Gersh. And there's Hershey. No, those guys, and that's good because you have consistency coming out of Arizona, and now the boys are going to go back to Arizona, and they're going to be like, "Hey, man, One Ring Circuits and Disney," and then I think that's opening up opportunity for you and Charles, right, to take out another promotion out there.
It's we're kind of at a stalemate right now because Arizona's backwards ass back. They're like, oh, you need to pay $300-400 for a permit before we allow you to even look at rentals or be able to rent. Where out here, I rent my building first and then go and get my permits. Because they want to know you have an actual building and not just getting permits for whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Oklahoma is. Like we have a state athletic commission out here that just I when I came out here, it made sense to me at first on how the process went and everything, and then once I started getting into the process, and I'm just like, man, this is kind of like funky and shit. And then I know that my situation with getting my license out here just went fucking haywire because our LLC's out of San Diego, so it's just like, what's the problem? And then there's all these problems started rising. It's like, man, like what the fuck's going on? So now eventually, or the turnaround now is we had an LLC something out here. Now we have to start a business out here. Now we have to wait like our 6 months and all this like weird little shit. And it's like, how weird? It's like so weird. And then the state athletic commission takes a chunk, like a little chunk of your money. And it's like everyone just calls it a money grab out here. And I'm just like, I don't get it. But in Oklahoma, they have native land. And it's like the government can't touch it type shit. Like like
That's
land
the
type,
res.
basically. Excuse me, sorry. Um, but there's like half of Oklahoma we can go have shows at without having to deal with this athletic commission. But it's like those places are like hours away from where I'm at. So I would have to like really go out of my way to like do some marketing and promoting while I'm out here in Oklahoma until I get my license so I could do it in OKC and Midwest City and all these other places. And I have something going on right now that I'm not going to bring up because a lot of people are going to like steal your idea. But I told Charles, and I think I've told you, but I'm pretty sure Charles maybe have brought it up. But we have something huge planned for 2000 for next year for 25 for the summer, and by then we'll have all our licensing obviously together. But it's like, man, like it's like some ass backwards shit out here. So it's like if that's the same way it is for Arizona, I'm definitely gonna stay away from Arizona as well.
Well, I know next year I have some ideas that are I'm going to piss off everybody.
That's good. Yeah,
Like,
I taught you well. Are you gonna
like
bring Bob back out for another seminar? You need to do that, bro. I'm gonna put you on blast.
I got to figure out where it makes sense. Bringing
Yeah.
Bob out for Motros made sense.
Right.
Like just bringing Bob out to bring Bob out. Like I love Bob. I love hanging out with him. I love talking with him.
Hanging with Bob.
He's an amazing dude. Tim Hughes is an amazing dude, but it needs to make sense monetarily wise. That's part of the reason why I don't book names,
Are you gonna
because it
ever?
doesn't.
Are you going? Are you gonna ever like treat your fans to a name or build something up and bring somebody in for either promotion?
Probably not. Not really. Well, especially not with Rising Star, because the whole platform of Rising Star
To bring up new talent, right? I
is
get it.
I'm just going to use it as the debuting cycle and platform for SoCal Pro, for Primal, for anybody that's just fresh out of a school and needs to get their reps in.
Gotcha. Do you think that might hinder some things going forward? Because I know, I know there's a little bit of a discrepancy when it comes to me talking about one or Rising Star because I recently did a review on a match that was in Rising Star, and when you say people getting like that are trained and they need to get their reps in, it's like I understand that, but you also got to be wary of who you bring in. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to just give everyone a chance because like you think they deserve it, and you want to be that company and all that. It's like you could be that company, but also try to be like the NXT version of what you're doing. Like if you want to bring in like younger talent that hasn't, started, then maybe find some talent that you can work with over multiple shows, build a storyline, build them up. And but if you keep just kind of like throwing these little bits and pieces here and there inside the show, maybe not they don't always work out as far as like good talent. And
Well,
that
that's
might
why if you look at the next card,
mhm.
almost everyone is paired with a vet.
Really?
Like main event for June 2nd is Bagu versus Hopkins.
Okay. You think you think Hopkins is a vet already? I'm being real about that one because I know where Hopkins started. I know where he started and how he started, and I feel that his athleticism stopped his training. I don't know if he continued training or whatnot, but
He has,
he did he?
yeah, he's part of the teachers at Primal for the
Okay, but
intermediate.
before that, but after Battle U, what did he do to keep training?
Him and like real shit. Him and J2 were basically the head trainers at Level Up. That's
Okay,
who
they're not answering my question. I don't give a fuck. Like, I could say I was a trainer too at Battle U. What did they do after Battle U as students? What did they? What made them like? You get what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the problems that are happening. Is you? I'm not trying to argue with you, Diz. I'm not trying to argue with you at all. I love you to death. But that's kind of the things that get fucked up. Those are the kind of things that, oh, you're pairing with a vet that was a trainer here and a trainer there. Okay, but he was like, what made him a trainer? What did he do after Battle U? Where did he go after Battle U? What is his athleticism just carrying him along? Is J2's um fucking owning a promotion just carrying him along? Like, you get what I'm saying? Those are the types of things you have to look out for. You calling Michael Hopkins a vet, and it's like, bro, far fucking from a vet. And I could put him in the ring with about five vets that will put him to shame, and I know it for a fact. Not shitting on you. I'm not shitting on your booking or anything. You just got to be wary about what you say. You know what I mean? It's like Bagu. He was the one I reviewed. He needs more training. I know he's your boy and he's put in a lot of time and he's put in his dues as far, bro. Bagu, shout out to Bagu because I've given him his props. He did what you did. You put in your time, you put in your work. That doesn't warrant you a spot on the card always, but make sure that these rising stars are rising stars and not just people that you're filling up the card with. And I'm not shitting on you, Diz. I'm not doing that at all. But when you giving credit to Hopkins for being a vet, that's not. You got to stop doing that because that's not true and it's not the case at all. Like at all. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I hope that everything steps up. I hope people start stepping up. Like that's what we all want, right? That's what we all want ultimately for the promotions is good matches, solid matches, good storytelling, good, just good skill in the ring, right?
Yeah.
I I hope I'm not twisting you up by saying what I said.
You, it's
But you know why I have my opinions on certain people though. And it's not like if you would have said like I don't who's another person on your card that you feel is going to help carry the young guys.
Guy Cool
Okay.
is on the card.
Don't be afraid to say anything. I'm not here to shit on you, Diz. I'm not here to argue with you about anything. It's just that I have my strong opinions about what's going on, and I start to feel what a lot of other people saying because I was blind to it too. And it's like when you have guys like J2 who just like what? Okay, so you got upset at your old trainers and your old now you open a school, now you're the head trainer. No, you're not. I'm gonna tell you, no, you're not. You're not a trainer. You're not at all. I'm sorry, you're not. Just because you have a school doesn't make you a head trainer. Just because you have a promotion doesn't make you a good like it. No, I'm always gonna look like Disney. I'm always gonna look out for you, no matter what. You know what I mean? No matter what, you have a big heart. You are one of those guys who obviously didn't get all the opportunities in the world, and now you're going to forward that. And I understand that, and I get it. I did the same thing. FCW. What did I do? I got shitted on by one company, and me and Maldicito looked at each other and I said, I don't know what to do, man. He said, you know what you're doing, so just go do it on your own. And I did it on my own. You know what I mean? And I gave how many people opportunities, Diz? How many locals did I give opportunities to? You know, it didn't get me nowhere. It the fucking obviously the other thing didn't get me anywhere either. But there's got to be a medium somewhere that you learn. Like, okay, maybe this talent's not going to help me as much as this talent will. Meaning, will it draw? Are they going to help my crowd? Are they going to get the crowd over? Are they going to be consistent with ticket sales? Shit like that. That's all I look out for when it comes to you. So I don't want you getting brainwashed by thinking like guys like Michael Hopkins are fucking vets in the ring because they're not. And I know he's a better wrestler than a lot of other guys out there. I get that, but it just don't give
well, what consists of a vet? Like, how long do you have to be in this business? How many matches do you have to have? Like, what is your criteria?
to qualify as a vet. Um, Schools like Santino Brothers, okay, graduating from something like that. That's a good step. Um, Putting in, I would say a good like yeah, like I say 5 years to be like the the student veteran, meaning like okay, now you're like if you were doing consistent shows for like good 5 years and you're like doing a little bit of traveling in your area and like you're doing your area, like you're solid in your territory, you're working all the places in there, and now you're becoming that. Okay, what's next in your career? Are you going to go for AEW? You going to Japan? You doing all this? Okay, that doesn't make you a vet. That's not. No, you hit that 10-year mark. That's when I'm considering you a vet, a veteran in the game, meaning you've been through it all, you've seen it all, you've done it all, you've tested all your limits, you've tested anywhere you can go, you've you've been the schools, you've taken, you've jumped in the fucking Bob Evans like seminars, you do like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like Brody King, like, or you know who's a vet? Tyler Bateman. That's a veteran in the game in Southern California. Ray Rosas, that's a veteran. Unfortunately, I have to say it because I don't like to do, but Tito, that's a veteran in the game. Michael Hopkins, not a veteran. That's if you could take those three and kind of look at what they've done, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, that you I give you another like 5 years until you can say I'm a vet. Like right now, you're putting in your work. There's going to be a time where you can sit back and stop putting in your work, and you're that veteran, Disney. You're working on it tough. I will never be a vet in the game. I'm just some promoter that's been around a long time. You're putting in all the work. Okay. Next 5 years, the way you're going, you'll be that solid vet. Okay. Biggie, been around a long time, a veteran. That's those things. Okay. Sean Black, about to be a vet. As soon as he hits that 10-year mark and he starts putting in a little bit more, like, or not putting, I don't want to say it like that. I feel his bookings are gonna start going somewhere else soon. Like it just happens. It's like the gremlin effect. Throw water on it, it starts growing all out of nowhere. You're like, what the fuck? And they start spawning everywhere. You know what I mean? You start seeing everyone. That's my criteria. Okay. It's just like, can Michael Hopkins be a vet? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'll give it to him, but not he's not a veteran right now. So don't say that. Speak. It's all right. I know that you're trying to be friends with everyone down there, and I get it, man. And I know that you stay out of the
It's not.
drama.
It's not even just being about friends. It's just. I don't know. Like I've seen.
Is it just because of all the bullshit that all of us went through together? It's just hard for you to speak on some things because.
It's. I've seen the work that these guys have done,
Mhm.
and they've gotten further that they've gotten. How do I say this? Like I don't think these guys get the love they should get for the athleticism they have, for what
What do
they
you mean
put
the
into
love
things.
though? What do you mean the love? Like bookings and shit?
Like just the overall, like, because they're San Diego guys, they get shitted on.
You got to understand though. Like you got to understand like all those everything that just went down in the past year and a half, nobody's looking at anybody in a good light right now down there. You know what I mean? Like we might be even included in all that as far as like, okay, like San Diego's kind of like, what the fuck's going on down there, because you got all these schools breaking up. It started with me, and then it's like FCW broke up, and then look at all these branches that happened afterwards. Look at what everyone, like, it just went like this. Everyone at one time was working together at FCW and Battle U, period. Like everyone that has a promotion now in San Diego, besides what Baja Stars and the Global
So
and SoCal Pro, man, fuck talk. Anyway, we all started off together. Everything is a branch from what we were trying to start, and that's why I get you were part of that. You weren't one of the reasons why it all fell apart. You were the one. You were one of the ones that trying to keep it together. Now you could say he gets shitted on from being from San Diego, but they have to arise from that shit on their own. You know what I mean? Like they have to separate themselves. We separated ourselves from all that shit. They haven't separated themselves from that. There's no public defense. There's no anything. And that's what a lot of people have kind of been waiting for is like, is anybody going to fucking say anything? Or are you guys just going to keep pushing out shows? And it's like, well, who's friends and who's this? And well, and then they're broken up and now they're together. And then what the fuck? Like, and then they have a school, and then there's a promotion here, and now who's this fucking guy? It's just like, guys, like everyone just kind of like broke up and just started like doing their own thing, and it's like, okay, well, maybe you're getting shitted on because nobody said anything. I was one of the only ones that like came out last or 2 years ago and be like, look, fuck all this. This is what's going on because Bones wants us here and talk shit. Benny wants us here and talk under his breath. You know what I mean? Fucking Gordon wants to sit here and run his mouth. It's like, bro, I finally have to say something, and that's where all this got fucked up with like me. I mean, we had a little bit of a falling out with all that went down. You know what I mean? But I just get upset that it's like, don't call these guys veterans when they could have easily just detached themselves from all the bullshit, but instead they all latched on to each other like, oh, you have a school? Oh, you're my friend. Oh, you're against it. It's like it's all this little weird shit started happening. And you being the big hearted one, we're just like, well, I'm gonna work with everybody. I don't care. Just don't get yourself caught up in the bullshit, which I know you won't, but you're trying to do something with Rising Star, and it's like, okay, if you have people that aren't gonna be any help, I wouldn't put them in your promotion. That's that's me looking out for you. That's always me looking out for you. That's always gonna be Gus looking out for little brother Disney. And no disrespect, I know you know what you're doing. I just certain people don't need the credit that they're getting right now. You know, and I know you remain friends with all of them, and it just sucks that none of them can sit there and admit like, okay, well, Gus was right about some things, and maybe we listened to the wrong person, and he was trying to help us and shit. And it's like, well, yeah, I could have fucking taken you guys like that FCW ORC show, bro. We could have had a blast with certain people, but I had fucking people sitting there staring at me, you know, like, fuck this guy. It's like, okay, fuck me, but you don't even know me. You're only saying that is because you worked with this other school that hates me and these other people who lied on my name. But here I am booking shows in San Diego, working with all these people that know the truth. And it's like, that's what pisses me off is I know this kind of went like left and right, and I'm kind of getting bitter about that. But it's like, those are some of the things that me and you went through. I lost an entire school. I lost a big group of people that trusted me. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of everything. You know what I mean? Like Hobson and Casey won't even fucking talk to me. And it's like, bro, you guys, you were witness to that. I didn't do anything bad. We talked about this the other day. I didn't steal no money from students. I didn't fucking rip off these guys. I didn't do anything malicious. I lost money on a fucking show majorly at the 619 show. I shut down FCW. I had to shut down Battle U. You guys wouldn't let that happen. And we opened up Battle U again. And in turn, one of the last payments I made 2 weeks later into the month was November, you said? Bones, Mikey, and Benny, because I know Benny's the one who I saw the text messages. They jack my ring. They orchestrate and jack my ring, so I lose my school. So I have to shut down my school. I have to cancel a fucking show, which people get mad at me about. Like, oh, you owe me money. I don't owe nobody shit for a show that got canceled. Like I did, I lost my ring, and people are like, oh, you should have rented another ring. What the fuck? I got my ring stolen. My school shut down. Like but it's just like even my title got sold. Like guys, like Tito sold my fucking title because like, oh, you owe me money. Ask for a deposit next time. I would have gave it, anyway. But those are some of the things. It's like, bro, like I no, you can't give these guys credit like that. Just can't. That's my speech on that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Diz. It wasn't supposed to be about like that. And the honk.
Tell me how
I
I live in. Tell me I
I
live in East County without telling me I live in East County.
look, man. I know that you're gonna have successful shows down there. I know that working with everybody down there is one of your biggest key elements to being successful down there, and I'm proud of you for that. I know that I've been on shows. I know I've been on some of your shows with some of these guys. Just like they hate me, and I'm like, bro, you don't even know me, and it sucks. But I just I want you to be aware and weary about what you put on your shows from now on. You know what I mean? I want you and Charles to be successful in San Diego. I want you guys to like flourish out there. You guys have it right in the palm of your hand. You know what I mean? You guys have it. You know what to do, Disney. Charles knows what to do. Just fucking handle business. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying like you guys have something good going right now. And just don't don't waste it on bad talent right now because everyone's watching. That's all. And why aren't you eating your food?
It's done.
You ate your food already? Anyway, I'm sorry about that, Diz. I don't mean to go on a rant about that. It just, you know me personally. and I've been through a lot. And if it weren't for you, FCW would have been shut down way before that. So I've always appreciated your financial being there for me. I have always appreciated your mental being the little brother, and
That's part of the reason why I don't want to do names. I've already done the names. Fuck this names.
you know.
Let me make money on my local guys. Let me make my local guys the fucking names. Like you
But
were
that's
there.
what I'm.
Here,
And
here,
that's
here.
what.
Story
Go
time.
ahead.
Story time. Story
Story
time.
time. Story time.
Brother SoCal comes back after battling fucking cancer. His first ever fucking show is my
The
show.
the reason I show this is because for the past 3 years that I've worn this to the game, I take this dude with me everywhere I go.
So he's on my show. Tommy's on my show. Bunch of other local guys are on my show. But those two guys, both 20-year dudes on my show. I drew a packed fucking house. And I had another promoter look at you flabbergasted. Or maybe it was our other friend looked at him flabbergasted and said, "How did Disney do it? He has no names on this show."
Oh, I know I remember that. And it's like, bro, what do you mean he has no names on the show? Like SoCal Crazy is a name. You know what I mean? And it's just like that. I remember the person who said that, and we obviously know who it was. But it was like that was disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's like it's there's always going to be negativity like that. But you did do it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that FCW pulled a 400 plus show a couple times, 3 or 4 times. We did it with names, but half of the card was locals. You know what I mean? And the locals put on a killer show. You know what I mean? And that's what I know. That's what you're building right now. And for somebody to say like you didn't have any names, that'll always sit with me wrong. You know what I mean? That'll always sit with me wrong.
I mean, since that, so over a year now has passed since that show. The only show I have done that fucking had double digit attendance was the one that had the hurricane warning on it back in
Oh,
August. And that's only because there was a hurricane warning. So I have the formula almost perfect for One Ring Circus right now. I'm trying to do the same with Rising Star, and I'm using guys who I know are popular in San Diego, who I know people were coming to see when they debuted in FCCW, when they were used sporadically everywhere else, but now aren't really being used anywhere because there's not the sustainable platform for them anymore. And
I hear things.
yes, it is the Tiny Tot.
The mom's on.
But these are guys who I trust to have good matches. These are guys who I know won't sit. If I tell them, hey, I want this, 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 they will give me this, this, and that, and not question me.
All right.
They'll do what I'm asking, do what they're told, because they understand.
You don't always do what you're told. You.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, because some people want to treat me like I don't know shit and like I'm an idiot. And then they find out real fucking quick that it's easier for me to play the fool than to let you know how smart I really fucking am.
When's your next show? When's the next show?
The 25th, Memorial Madness.
Memorial. Who? That's One Ring Circus.
That's One Ring Circus. That.
Who you got on this show?
So we got your buddy, the vegan Superman.
You don't like me no more. He blocked me. He unfriended me on Facebook because of some comments that were made in an opinionated platform that he got all upset about. But anyway,
we have him versus Wicked, who's making his debut. I've heard nothing but good things about this guy. I've seen some good matchups with him and Eli. We got the current ORC tag champs, the Shady Boys, taking on my boys, the Juggernauts. Matthias makes his return after being injured because he like tore his bicep. He's taking on Remy Morgan.
Remy Morgan's one of those guys too that I feel like, yeah, you went to Battle U, but what did you do after that? Because you didn't train as much as you should have at Battle U, and now you're all over shows because he was training at another school with people that didn't know it. You get what I'm saying? Like, anyway.
Remy doesn't sit there and say he sits there and tells you I'm a trash wrestler.
At least he knows.
But he is smart. He is smart enough, and I've had matches with him where he doesn't go outside his limitations. And majority of the match is
he's trash.
Is us working the fans, and the fans, him getting the fans to hate him and cheer for whoever he's fighting against.
What about that cameraman right there in the middle?
You mean my champion?
It's crazy, man. That when I saw that, my first reaction was just like, wow. Not saying you like shouldn't have done that or anything like that. It's just like it was just kind of a shock to me of all people to carry your brand was this guy. You know what I mean? Another guy who was just like, who trained you? Where'd you train at? Why do you think you're good? Because you have a bunch of matches booked from your friends. Like just another guy that I just feel just you know what I mean? Mr. Cameraman himself. But you know, I hope that everything pans out for this. I hope that, you know, what you got going on works out for all this. I hope you guys all work the system down there and work the right people with the promotions. You know what I mean? Like if you guys are ever going to cross promote, make sure you guys are using the right people, you know, and not just throwing shit together. Like do something cool down there if you guys are all going to work together, you know. Who's Ryan Kidd taking on?
The champ.
Have they worked together before?
Once, I believe.
Yeah. Did it go good?
I'd have to look it up.
I'll look it up. So what you got?
What do I got?
Saturday, May 25th. Doors are at 3:30. Oh, it's an early show, huh?
No. Show still starts at 4. Show always started at 4.
Oh, my shows are the shows that start at like fucking 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, your shows fucking were marathon shows, and then you wonder why fucking certain people fucking pass the fuck out.
ORC it's Memorial Weekend, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy in the middle right there?
Where?
Up above J2. Looks like ZZ Top.
That's Red Williams. One of Santino's.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a part of the Shady Boys.
You need to dig into that. You need to dig into the Santino brothers pool. They got a lot of students coming out there. All right. Well, that's One Ring Circus's next show. What's Rising Stars next show?
June 2nd at BNS.
This guy right here.
Yeah, that one.
I like these flyers. Who's making? There's the same guy making your flyers.
Yeah, Jay's making the flyers.
Have you thought about pulling back off of this show and maybe freeing up a spot? Not saying you shouldn't or should, but just because you're working so much, I would be a promoter for this show. You know what I mean? Like I would be the GM of this show as for you, since you got so much other going on. But I know who am I? Okay, so who is the two at the top? The big ones, the big pictures.
So that's Ty Williams and CJ Tino.
I heard CJ Tino's good.
He's real good.
Who else you got on there? Bagu just looks
Um,
like a beast.
I love his new fucking promo pictures.
Bagu, go train. I love you.
He is. Ran into him Monday night at training, actually.
Who's the guy in the masks?
There's like 3 masked dudes. Well,
No,
4
there is,
masked
huh?
dudes.
Name everybody you got going on here. Where's Tortuga at? God damn it!
Oh, he's busy being a champion somewhere, so
Ah.
I don't want to stress him out with my dates.
So Sunday, June 2nd, we got Neo Genesis, the Rising Star over at BNS Brewery Distillery. What time? That's the early one.
It's a Sunday show. Why fucking make a Sunday show late?
Yeah, for real. I see that. So those are your two upcoming shows, and you obviously got more coming up because you're doing monthly shows. Are you doing monthly shows with RSW or this bi-monthly?
They're monthly.
So both
So there's
two monthly promotions that you're running. That's why you're exhausted. You're running every fucking what 3 weeks? Then every 2 weeks.
Oh, I was talking with Charles last night, and I only so looking at my like next 3 months, I only have one weekend I'm not wrestling
That's good, right?
each month. Like the first weekend is Rising Star. This weekend I had off. Next weekend I'm up at Valor Pro in Apple Valley. The
What's
next
Valor
weekend,
Pro?
huh?
What's Valor Pro? Who's runs that?
Um, I'm I think his name's Joe Gonzalez or Joe. I'm not quite sure on his name, but it's like a group. They're the guys who they used to be a part of D6W before it moved to Illinois.
Sam is running that out there or helping run that. I don't want to state the misfacts, but I know he's a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, do
Is she deciding that she wants to rebel against clothes again?
no. See the bed?
It is flipped. No,
No,
the
it's
bed's
empty,
empty and the dude's on the floor.
and the dude's on the floor. She's been doing that a lot lately because she has mats. She basically has like wrestling pads around the fucking bed.
So it's a
Um,
texture thing then.
yeah, she rolls out of bed all the time and like curls up with her pillow and her everything. So, but um, one thing to I know. Okay, so we got in a little bit of the drama, and that's something that I know that you stay out of. I know that recently that I had a conversation with you about the interview that I did with Andrew Pacina, who's a former critic and editor of SoCal Uncensored, which was one of the biggest forums and information platforms for SoCal wrestling. And there was a lot of just like there was a lot of bashing going on from his end because he's been around, and I'm not defending him. I've just known the guy a long time, and I've had this conversation with you multiple times over all the years that I've known both of you, because I know that there's things that he said about you and said about me. It's like how can you even talk to this guy? But I've always respected Andrew because he's always just he was a straight shooter, and I'm a straight shooter, and you know that, so I've always respected that kind of thing. But he made some comments, literally brought your name up, brought your promotion up. Excuse me, brought my promotion up, and I respect his straight shooting and his opinions. I get it, but I respect how you took it because you're just like, bro, I don't have time for that. And you didn't say it in a shitty way, and you didn't be like, well, fuck this guy or anything like that. You didn't like your response to it was really like, man, I don't have time for that one. Like it doesn't pertain to me. He can say anything he wants to me, and I respect you for that because a lot of the drama that could start with you, meaning like you could be the one that reacts different. So I
Oh,
I
I mean, you know as well as anyone, I'm a wealth of knowledge and information, and I can start all kinds of shit if I wanted to. But what's the fucking point?
what's the
We're
point?
adults. Like, okay, someone has an opinion about me that me and this guy maybe have said two words to each other in my entire like almost 20 years of fucking being a professional wrestler. Okay, like he's entitled to his opinion. He pays his taxes. He fucking does his thing. He can say and do whatever the fuck he wants. I'm not going to say shit as long as it doesn't affect fucking children.
Hey, there you go.
It's
But that's
he's
but
in
that's what's but
and
that's
he's
what
in LA. I'm in San Diego. It's two different scenes.
it
Like
is.
at the end of the day,
And that was always one of my things is like it's two different scenes, but everyone wraps up Southern California, and when I'm like, yes and no, and it looks like I may have agreed with him on a lot of things. It was just that maybe I didn't want to argue with him on a bunch of shit because like sometimes Andrew, like I've gotten into conversations with Andrew, and it's like he makes me shut up because I don't want to get into an argument with him because I think his opinion's just fucking full of shit sometimes. And I've told him that I think your opinion's full of shit. He's gonna see this and he's gonna be like, "So you think my opinion's full of shit?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck you, fuck the Dodgers." But
I mean,
it
not today.
not today, motherfucker. The motherfucker's been texting me the whole time, going, "How the Padres fucking trash," but
They weren't yesterday, but that
they
was
weren't.
yesterday.
Fucking that was yesterday. But anyway,
And I'm willing to bet fucking tomorrow they won't be.
we'll take that. But
Hey, track
but
record, bro. Track record.
but the thing was is that me and you are sitting here talking still to this day. The opinions didn't bother you.
If
My defense, I'm not defending him, but I do agree with some things because I do want to see the scene better. I want to see you do better. I want to see your product better. I'm a part of your product. I represent One Ring Circus no matter what. I'm not an owner. I'm not anything. And by the way, I'm not an owner, not a booker. I'm not anybody out there. I've heard this before to my face, like, how long you been a booker here? I'm like, I'm not the fucking booker. Stop asking me. I'm that fucking announcer who begs for a job
and beer.
and beer. And I don't drink. Why do I drink when I go to ale? Man, I have to have a beer when I go to AleSmith. It's just anyway.
Announcer juice. And it's a bad
Announcer
habit
juice.
that fucking he picked up on. Because
Announcer juice.
I'll see his ass with it before a show, and I'll look at him and he'll smile at me and be like, "This, it's announcer juice. This is how he taught me."
I have passed on my regiment. I've passed on my LeBron James to the next fucking
You see what you did to loser?
loser Grody. Um, the point that I'm really trying to make on all this though is that we can still sit here and smile and talk and laugh and shit like that. And that's one thing I've always loved about you, Diz, is like a lot of things do roll off your shoulders, but a lot of things never did. Like a lot of things you did keep right here on your shoulder, on your chest. You're like, you know what? Fuck that. But for the most part, a lot of bullshit did roll off your shoulder. And like I said, I'm not defending anything that Andrew said or anything like that. I agree with some of the shit he said. I just want to see the scene better. I want to see better talent on our shows. I want to see better than what I saw in that fucking Bagu match. Like I just want to see better for you because I feel that like I didn't leave off on a good note the first time with FCW, when it just got all wishy washy and just like, all right, fucking last show just got canceled. Now I'm doing what was it Mayday, or Mayday was like the last FCW show, whatever, like that free show we did up for the Bike Fest or whatever. That was literally like the last FCW show, right before FCW ORC.
Last FCW, no, because you did 619 after Mayday, because that was in June. Then you came back, did a September show.
Like, what is it like? We're not done.
Or something like it was some Wu Tang thing.
We're not done, or some shit like that. Yeah. And then it was supposed to be. It was we're not done. Protect your neck and Seasons Beatings 2, and Protect Your Neck and Seasons Beatings 2 got canceled because of the ring got stolen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was right after we did the fucking Kush Talk.
Kush Talk. Man.
Not, oh, fuck.
Kush Talk.
So fucking high.
Nobody believes this story because it doesn't make sense. I, Gus Parsons, consumed at least 5,000 milligrams worth of edibles between 8 a.m. and midnight. Like, I'm talking a 14-hour shift. I consumed at least 5,000 milligrams worth of edibles.
Because you had at least one or two of the pour ups with the gummies, right?
One or two, motherfucker. I was drinking those because I was thirsty.
Because those right there were about 500 to 1,000 milligrams alone.
I drank probably 6 of those. No bullshit. I drank probably 6 bottles of those that day because they kept bringing me those like I don't know if it was Biggie or Terex or Craig. One of them discovered like a slushy spot, and I went and did a little trade with them on some weed and shit. And I was like, "Hey, yo, bro, here, like, I just need slushies." You know, like for
So
your guy.
it was either Terp Slurp or it was the ones that were chilling with Dr. Solventless, Tasty High Creations.
No,
Because
Tasty High Creations was the one feeding me the edibles and the pour ups. That's what was feeding me. The people providing the fucking slushies was what you're talking
Terp
about.
Slurp,
Terp Slurp. With the little
I still
like
have
abominable snowman dude on it or
yeah, I
whatever.
still
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
pen
yeah,
somewhere of theirs.
yeah. But that day, Tasty High Creations had gave me like 10 of those fucking patties, those gummy patties, enormous amount of gummies. And then because we're at Kushstock, bro, that's when I was taking my camera. Remember when I was taking my camera out and we were just filming and just fucking doing dabs and like, bro, I was just fucking consuming edibles all day long. And then at the end, on the way out, because it was a 2-hour drive, she's like, "Here's a bag." She goes, "Here's a to go bag for when you get home." I looked at her and I said, "Ha, ha, ha." 3 of those patties and said, "I'm out of here." And she goes, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Because I don't want to stop and get food because I have a trailer." So I just ate those gummies.
We still stopped and got food though.
Think so? Oh yeah, of course we did. We're fat.
It was me, you, and Twisted.
Was it the Kushstock one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we were dropping it off at fucking Rob's place
Rob's place. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
he had just gotten done welding it or some shit.
Jeez, man. That those months of toting that ring around with you, like doing all the pop up shows, man, we had good times. We had fun, man. I think that we learned a lot about wrestling. You know what I mean? I think we learned a lot about just life and shit. But it was good times, man. I think that you took everything, like I said earlier. I think you took everything, learned from it, grew from it, and decided, hey, let me try this out. You know what I mean? And I think eventually, and don't take this the wrong way, I think eventually you're gonna get to that like 400 FCW status, like when we were working on it really hard. You know what I mean? Like when we are doing it, you're gonna do it with the locals. You know what I mean? You just got to push it more with AO Smith. You just got to get more involved with their marketing. Use everything free to your advantage and shit up there. Because I know the venue itself isn't very um residential friendly. You know what I mean? Like it is up kind of north of San Diego's residential areas. You know,
I
like
mean, it's only like a 5 minute drive down into Claremont.
yeah, but a lot of your draw would be more from the Chula Vista National City area. You know what I mean? Like if you were
Well,
really
that's why we're look. That's why ideally, like me and Charles have always talked about, have a spot central, which is ORC, spot east, which is RSW, have another spot fucking on the coast, and
border
have
X.
oh, you mean use that name?
Would you? Oh, not the
I thought,
venue. No, not
yeah,
the venue.
the
Nah,
venue.
Border X Lucha Libre owner Gus Parsons, single owner. I won't get into that.
And then
Hey, that proves a lot, though. Hey, that proves a lot on my status with Southern California wrestlers because that Border X show was my make or break back in San Diego because everyone was still worried about, hey, artist. um, I feel like that would have been that was my make or break show back in San Diego. Like,
it was a good show. It garnered some new fans that have attached themselves to the rest of the wrestling scene.
bro, I drew a big number too for that. Like for a debut show, I drew a good number.
It's just
Things went the wrong way. That's all I have.
man, management wasn't cohesive. That is the best, most professional way, as someone who was an outsider and not a part of the show.
I was cohesive, right?
I'm just saying the management as a whole was not cohesive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you try to date all your wrestlers in the back, I guess that's what happens. Anyway,
Poor George.
there's a lot of guys back there for them that night. Anyway,
No. There was one guy in
yeah,
particular
I
who
know.
I felt was permanently scarred and just
And
kept
see,
looking at.
and we laugh about that, but in all honesty, I hope the person that knows that we're talking about, they understand like there wasn't very much professionalism on your end, and that's why relationships just ended. And I just feel that like there was no. I just felt like I was set up in a way of like she had a cat on her back.
No, that was her tattoos.
Oh, um, I just feel like I was set up a little bit, meaning I had this great idea for a lucha promotion, and I teamed up with somebody who I thought was like-minded. It had really nothing to do financially because I could have just did the shit on my own. But I teamed up with somebody who I thought was very like-minded, and it just turned out to my I got my real first dose of a money mark. Straight up. Like people called me a money mark because I used to throw a lot of money to FCW. But what it was is like I was really trying to do something. I don't think I did anything for myself. Like a money mark to me is like Tony Khan. You know what I mean? Like that's a money mark. You know what I mean? I was really trying to put on good wrestling in San Diego, and I didn't trust many announcers or I didn't trust many people to like make certain, announcements. Those are things that I stepped up and I did myself, inside the ring. But
Well,
Angela,
there's certain things that made sense because of how interactive you were with the fans.
I was very interactive with the
Like
fans.
if people don't remember, like there are times where me and you fucking hopped on Facebook Live before we like fully opened doors and
I
fucking
bet
paraded around with the crowd lined up In fact, you're probably able to pull up one of the videos where you
I,
were doing the angle,
the what?
the angle with Capcom.
Oh God, what a
That was your
joke!
idea.
That guy was a fucking joke, man. You know what sucks, bro? Is like I really worked with that guy, and it was like some people can shit on it all they want, but it was actually for FCW fans, it worked, and like a lot of people love FCW fans loved it for what we were doing with that gimmick and that angle. But it just turned out this guy was just a shithead deep down. Like personally, he was just a shithead, you know. And it's like that sucks. So, wow. Speaking of the last, these are the memories that are popping up. Mayride. Oh Jesus Christ!
Fuck that show.
Every day these pop up. Look, there's your champ right there. Look, there's your vet. There's your trashy wrestler. There's the guy who used to give me dirty looks when he come in my dispensary. There's a guy who got married and will never get laid. Miss that guy. Uh, try to
So,
protect the, try to protect the guy as much as I could, but he didn't care.
so there's 4 guys in that picture that are still wrestling.
This guy, all the potential in the world, and quit because this guy treated him like shit.
Was that Jake?
Yes.
I always wondered what the fuck happened. I thought he got hurt.
He quit. Hey, Disney, what do you know about that? What do you know about the first FCW logo, Disney?
I know a lot about the first FCW logo. In fact, I think I still have merchandise with the first logo on it.
There's Easter eggs in the first FCW logo. If anybody can tell me what those Easter eggs are, I will give you a free virtual high five.
They're not Easter eggs. They're more like nuggets.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there's the giveaway. All right. You want to? I'm gonna, all right. All right. I'm going to give this away.
You know what? You could have not said a single fucking word.
Hey, you didn't have to say that, though. You didn't have to say
I
that.
thought it was fucking clever for one.
Okay. So this is the very first FCW logo. And I'm talking about if you look at the W, there's no little bridge. This was the very first logo. Then there was like a remake logo that like there was a little bridge added into it. And then there's the whole rebranded logo that
Was the
that
skyline?
that Nolan Ryan did. And it was the FC with the skyline, the palm tree, the skyline, and the bridge separated. If you look at this one, it just goes straight across like some shitty silhouette. Well, let's see if I can brighten up the thing a little bit. So if you look at the, you can't really tell, can you? Shit. Anyway, the first FCW logo's palm trees are not palm trees. The designer, I'm not the one who designed this. Actually, this actually came to me from my homie Demo. He's the one who we sat there in his house fucking smoking and shit, and he was just like, hey man, here's your logo. And I'm like, oh hell yeah. So I'm just like, I'm looking at it and I don't say nothing. He's like, you don't notice anything? And I'm like, nah. He's like, oh here, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. There we go. He's like, you don't know. Look, actually, look. See the W now has a little bridge in it. Okay, guys, these are not palm trees. Those are silhouettes of nugs of the month out of High Times magazine. Whatever 2008 or 2007 High Times nugs of the month. Those are the nugs of the month. Those are not palm trees. None of those are palm trees. Those are all nugs. So yeah, anybody watching this? There's your little insight to how much I used to smoke. So a lot of people are like, "Are you,
Used to?
bro? Stop telling people I smoke weed. It's illegal in a lot of places except for Oklahoma."
It's not illegal in California. And I'm in California. You're in Oklahoma. So therefore, this transaction is legal.
But where were we going with all this shit? I have no idea.
God damn it. You fucked up my hyper focus.
See. All I know is me and Disney have a lot of history together. We've done a lot of things together. We've had matches up in Escondido together. Disney has knocked out brain fluid out of my head in a match in LLII at Oscars promotion. Um, that was great. He did. I forgot what move it was. Curb stomp.
Yeah.
I used to give the curb stomp to everybody. And then sorry, Super Dragon was doing it. Like I stole the curb stomp from Super Dragon. People were like, you're copying Super Dragon. I'm like, 100% because nobody else did it. It's like everyone was copying everyone else's moves and shit. But it was like everyone was afraid to steal the curb stomp, and I'm like, I'll take it, you know. So I started doing the curb stomp. Disney flipped it on me one time, gave me the curb stomp, and I fucking hit the mat so hard. I had black gloves on, and you said it was a uh red fucking canvas. So when I smash, I feel like the best way to explain it, if you take a tree branch and crack it slow and it snaps, that's what it felt like. So when I leaned up, it's like snap. So I felt that in my head, and I felt all this fluid coming out, and it was hitting my glove. And since my glove was black and I was kind of dizzy, I couldn't fucking tell what color it was. So I went like that. I was like, oh shit, you know, I was like, I can't tell if it's blood or not because that was a red canvas. But I caught a glimpse of it being yellow. I'm like, okay, whatever. Go back later, home, look up on the computer, like, what fluid comes out of your head that's yellow? Brain fluid. Fucking brain fluid. Fucking brain fluid. Right in front of him, dude. I'm fucking brain fluid pouring out of my goddamn head. It's probably why I'm stupid now. um there's something we can end our yeah, we can end this podcast with. There's a few times that I didn't have a spot for Disney. Disney claims that he worked this show, but I still don't believe he did work this show. It was my son's birthday. Um, one time, Disney was supposed to hold a chair for a move. Me and Matt Twister were in a one-on-one at my son's birthday, and he's going to give me a coast to coast. Disney was supposed to come along and be a heel and stick the chair in between the bottom and the second rope, covering it. Done this move a bunch of times. Matt Twisted was supposed to kick the chair into me. That's that. Dipshit over here doesn't put the chair correctly, backwards and at an angle. So Matt Twisted kicks the chair, hits me right in the fucking jaw, knocks me out a little bit. We have these things called receipts. I love you, Disney. I love you to death. But Disney got his receipt. Was that your first receipt you ever really got? Like a legitimate, like, yo, motherfucker, you fucked up. I'm about to knock your ass out. Because that's exactly what I tried to do.
No. That's my second.
Who was your first one?
Malasito.
Ugh. I
Because
owe
I
his ass a receipt. He no sold my famouser one time. I was like, you son of a bitch. He didn't even move. I jumped in the air and went down on the. I literally, I set this dude up because he's like 9 feet 10 inches. So I set this dude up so my legs way the fuck up here already, hooked on his head, right? And I fucking grab his head. I'm like, all right. So I go to jump. I don't know if he's coming with me or not because he's so tall. He just like stands up a little bit. So I'm thinking he's going with me. So I go for the famouser and I fucking go bam, and I sit down. And I'm just staring right at him, going, like, you were supposed to come down with me. He's like, I didn't say that. I just looked at him like, bro. Like,
and then he kicked you. Please tell me he kicked you.
he punched me. Fucking poo. I was like, oh.
No, so this is one of the first times actually working with him. And like I've trained with him, I've stood next to him, but it's really different when you're across the ring from him in a corner and just see this mountain of a man fucking running as fast as he can
Fast as fuck,
toward,
boy.
towards you. I flinched like this and pulled my knee in and ended up clipping the giant in his gonads. My chest was beat to shit after that.
Well, let me set up your receipt because I actually have footage of your receipt. So, like I said, we set up this coast to coast. Matt Twist supposed to give me a coast to coast. Disney flipped the chair the wrong way, ends up clipping me in the chin, knocks me out for a little bit. As the 1, 2, 3 is happening, I don't know if it was your instinct to try to wake me up. I don't know what you were doing, but you clearly were not helping Matt Twisted. You were helping me because I don't know, at that time you got nervous because you were like, oh shit, I think Gus is
Oh, the
knocked out.
fidget?
Because you pushed me. Like, you try to wake me up or so. I don't know.
So you were like, your arm was like right here under the rope. So I was like, I think he's knocked out. Let's move his arm from under the rope and try to wake him up.
So the clip I'm going to show you guys right now, because I have a clip of this. After I get knocked out from this fucking chair shot, they roll me out of the ring, and it's officially time to fucking just go home because now I'm dizzy, and I tell Twisted, fuck it, just set up the table because we got a table spot. As we're setting up the tables, you are behind me, and Matt Twisted, as I'm taking him,
Twisted.
huh?
I'm behind Twisted because you fucking
Yeah.
popped Twisted and then fucking
No, listen, no, but this is how it got set up. So we're walking over towards the fucking stairs, and he goes, out of nowhere, he goes, you know, Disney's behind you, right? And I was like, why? He goes, I'm just letting you know. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hit him right now then. And I fucking hit him. I stiffed his ass, fucking headbutt, and I turn around and see you, and I just fucking nail you. You go down like a sack of fucking potatoes. I don't know where I was kicking you, but clearly in the video, I'm making contact. Because of that, because of the whole array that's going on at the time, we had a special guest referee, Ryan Ochoa of Disney's Parrot Kings, and my fucking co-star in our movie that's coming up called Second Chances. Yeah. Anyway, Ryan Ochoa was our special guest, and he was our special guest referee, and he had an idea what was going on, but things did not go accordingly. And after I had knocked down Disney and I gave him his receipt. I go back over to Matt Twisted. I go to give Matt Twisted a famouser off of another ring that was there onto a table. Unfortunately, Matt Twisted does not extend. Goes face first down into the table that splits. Like, so as soon as I land on the table does this number. Catches him in his face, splits his fucking face, blood everywhere. I literally didn't know what to do and just basically did a falls count anywhere. I was like, fuck it, 1, 2, 3, and I told my nephew or told Ryan, I was like, hey, bro, like, and you can hear him in the video. Is this real? Is this real? Is this real? So let's get into the receipt that I gave Disney.
technical difficulties.
That's Ryan Ochoa. So here it comes. He fucking stiffed the shit out of me right there. So here's the fucking coast to coast. Knocked out. I'm knocked out. They're trying to help me. Look at skinny Disney. So now we're setting up the tables, right?
You know, like you guys used to.
Wait.
Well, not you specifically, but other
Here comes
fuckers would
receipt.
call me.
Bam!
Ooh.
Kick the shit out of you. And you're still down on the ground. Here's where he splits his head open. Ugh!
Dude, for real?
You can hear him like, let's look at that one more time. Oh, God.
Always
Scared
scared.
the shit out of me, bro. You try to wake me up, bro. You really try to get me up.
Uh-oh.
This is where he's like trying to wake me up right here, and this is where he tells me, "Yo, Disney's behind you."
Yeah, there you go.
Pow!
That's big.
Watch, you can hear me after I do it. I'm like, I know I fucked up. I fucked him up. Watch.
Dude, for real?
Hey, you know whose foot that was? That was Benny's foot. That was Benny's foot that walked over. I shit you not. So yeah,
There's one other good fucking memory from that match or from
What?
that show
Wow.
that I bring up every now and then, and it's me, you, Ryan, and Steve, and like you're going over everything with Ryan, and me and Steve are just sitting there, and Steve's got a bag, and Steve is just sitting there, brownie after brownie after brownie, and I just like. I look at the bag, look at Steve, look at the bag again, look over at Ryan, who's just sitting there like fresh-faced young kid talking to you. And then I'm like, really, bro? And he's like, what?
Good times, man. Good times. Disney, is there anything you'd like to bring up, talk about, or wrap up or anything? I think that one of the main things I just wanted to get out there on this.
You could be a dick?
And that's our show. I'm Mike. That was Gus. I'm one of the. No, yeah, I could be a dick. So what? And that's why we're friends, though. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the reasons you looked past all that, though. Like you were one of the ones that I knew, and I wasn't, and you knew I was never like I'm not an asshole dickhead. You know what? I'm not one of those dudes who like deliberately just goes out there and just I'm a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like I'm very just I've been around a lot of other like how do I say like I've done more than wrestling. You know what I mean? Like I booked a fucking celebrity basketball game at the Staples Center. You know what I mean? I had the and one team versus a bunch of celebrities. I had Ryan Ochoa and them singing, in the middle of the halftime show at the Staples Center. I've done big shows. I've stood on stage with Mos Def and Nas. You know what I mean? Like I've done backstage. I've done so much shit, and I've seen so many things, and I've worked with so many different bosses. One of my biggest mentors is a promoter named Cross One, who owns Freestyle Sessions out of San Diego and the old Armory hip hop shop that I used to work at. And Cross was, he was raised in the business by guys who were Black Eyed Peas managers, shit like that. You know what I mean? So those are the kind of guys that I was around. Those before wrestling, before any of this wrestling promoting ever came about. That's what I was doing. I was doing big events. You know what I mean? Just promoting. And when you get involved in stuff like that, and you're running clothing lines and shit like that, and everything's just like fast paced, go, 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 go. When I got into wrestling and when I got to become a promoter, it was the same formula as all these other things that I was doing, except for wrestling and wrestlers was more sensitive. So wrestlers are just more sensitive. You know what I mean?
I
It's like
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. It's
before I moved out here, before I moved out to Oklahoma, I had just made a post on Facebook about one of my last days in San Diego. Everything was just going so weird. I get a phone call from my homie Vic, and he's like, "Yo, dog, uh, Little Wayne's in town. I need you backstage working with him." Cool. That's just my life. That's just the type of things that I've been in, and it's like,
I remember you sending me pictures.
yeah. And
You're like,
but
hey.
but the comparison was when I got to the Little Wayne show, and I spoke to certain people and staff, like, "Hey, we got to get this, and that." They were like, "Right on, let's go." You do the same thing in wrestling shows. They're like, it's like, "Yo, Pouty McPout, let's fucking go." You at first would give me a lot of like, "Bro, you don't pay me," and it's not you don't pay me enough. You don't pay me. You know what I mean? And it's just like you've given me those looks in the very beginning when I'm like, "Yo, Dis, hurry the fuck up!" And you're like, "Bro, I'm here for you." But then it turned into you knew where I was coming from, and I always appreciated that. You know what I mean? And you learned from that. You're a dick too, bro. Like I've seen you, but you're not a dick. It's just some things have to be. You have to be assertive about some things.
like because Charles says the same shit. I don't fucking see it. Like it's either I'm an
It's your
asshole.
fucking tone. You have this shitty fucking tone because you're always like Disney. You have the Disney side of you, the wrestling side of you, and then there's the Dungeons and Dragons version of Disney. The one who's hyper fucking focused and will destroy your goddamn world. That's the asshole Disney. The Dungeons and Charles, I know you're gonna watch this and you go, "Yep, that's it. It's Dungeons and Dragons Disney." Because I saw you. You know what, motherfucker? That's exactly what it is. Because I saw you playing Dungeons and Dragons one time with fucking Charles, and you were such a cocky fucking asshole. Because you set up and you're just like, yep. Go ahead, go ahead. Watch me do some nerdy cool shit, and you did, and they were mad at you. And it's the same little fucking attitude you have sometimes when you talk to people about when it comes to wrestling and shit, because you know what you're talking about, and you're like, "You're stupid, and I'm about to eat you with my dragon," and that's how you act. That's it right there. It's the Dungeons and Dragons version of Disney. He's the dickhead. He's the fucking Mr. Know-It-All.
You mean the guy who does know it all and doesn't put up with stupidity?
You don't know it all. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not saying I know everything, but when it comes to how I want shit and how I think things is going to succeed, my track record right now for the last 3 years has proven I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's in thanks to guys like you, like the Dynamics, people who fucking saw a guy who was more than just, okay, I want to be a wrestler. It's like, no, I just want to be wrestling. And there's a difference. Like, I know I'm not the greatest wrestler in the world. I know I'll never be the greatest wrestler in the world.
I tell you all the time.
I know I can go out there, though, and put on a halfway decent match with anybody.
That's another scary story. Disney in the ring. That's a bright fucking line. You stop doing that. That's the second time I've done that to myself. The first time I couldn't see for like 3 minutes. I'm not talking shit. I always just want you to do better. That's all I ever want you to do is just do better for yourself. Make sure you're not overwhelming yourself with everything you got going on because you're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do it anyways. You know this.
You're gonna fucking do it anyway. But
I gotta be Iron Man, bro.
Oh, so okay, bitch. Okay, motherfucker. I don't ever want to hear a goddamn thing again. I'm not gonna bring it up, but I don't ever want to hear shit when I call
Would you rather me fucking laugh about it or still fucking be
I've been trying to get you to laugh about it.
I am, motherfucker.
Is it Doctor Strange and Iron Man? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't beat Iron Man.
God, you were there for that game. Shit, that game's been there for a while.
Yeah, bro.
Oh God, what did I set myself up for?
You're gonna hate me so fucking bad right now.
Why? What are you going to do? You still have the fucking cards.
Hey, but you know what? That little fucking 8-year-old kid got the best analogy of his life, and he said, "Yeah, don't be Doctor Strange." Yeah, I have the whole set. I have the whole set just in case. Just in case my grandson ever goes. I was supposed to give him to my grandson. Um,
They'll work if he fucking comes out there and they got a spot for him.
I'm gonna rewind that later and find out how the fuck that just happened. Yeah, no shit. Doctor Doctor Strange's like, I'm out of here. Like, okay, like, bro, did you see that? I swear on my daughter's life, I did not. I was just holding it, and that
Your
fucking
hand
thing,
didn't even flinch when
dude,
it
that
just
literally
popped.
just flew out of my hand, bro.
It's like I'm done being in frame.
I'm out. Disney. We could probably talk for days, talk about all the things we've ever been through. I
The
think
gum,
the gum, Willows, California, man.
the chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders. Hey, what did he have? He had the chicken tenders. That's what I want. We had a good
No,
time.
that's not what you want, bro.
Me, Disney, Charles spent 3 days out in Willows, California for a 1-day show uh, at a motel called the Blue Gum Motel, where like it was a U-shaped motel and it was a Momo.
Like it was like something out of fucking Stephen King, bro.
No, Stephen King wrote less scarier shit than what the fuck we saw at the Gum. Fucking Dylan. Quick story about the Gum, and we have a lot of stories about the Blue Gum Motel and everything that happened that
The
weekend.
trash.
Like everything that happened, like it's what the place is called. There's a bar called the fucking Trash because they literally dubbed it the Trash because that's where all the white trash people of town went to go drink, and they knew it. They called it the Trash because of that. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to the white trash." I'm like, "Oh, you guys really call it that shit?" They're like, yeah,
Or
but
and then the other bar that closed at like 10 was called the Last Stand because it was all outside. And the
oh,
reason
was
it was
that with the
called
burgers? That was
yeah,
with the
the
burger.
reason it was called Last
Yeah,
Stand is because
fuck yeah,
you're
bro.
the last one standing in the cold.
Me and Charles, the first time we went there, and I smacked a bunch of Coronas down and fucking ate a burger and went and passed out. Real quick about the Gum though. When me and Charles went up there to promote, we made contacts with everybody that was actually staying at that motel because most of them were like monthly residential people, and you could tell some people actually lived there. But there was a fucking hotel or one of the rooms that literally had a family of like 6 people in there. It was like a mom, a dad, an uncle, an aunt, and these 2 kids. One of the kids' name was Dylan, and he was let's just say a couple slices short of a full loaf.
Special.
Special. He wasn't totally special, but he was definitely like he was excited. He was the golden retriever of fans.
Energy.
He had
Yes.
a lot of energy, golden retriever energy like a motherfucker. Anyway, Dylan thought that WWE was in town and we were like Vince McMahon and John Cena, which was really cool to us because that's what we were there for. We were there to make an impact. Unfortunately, we made too big of an impact on Mr. Dillon because one morning, Gus discovered that you could open your bathroom window because all our bathrooms faced this like 3-acre open field. There's nothing around. There was zero
Our
around.
bathrooms. because we were on that back row.
Yeah, that back row faced the big field, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I was at. And because I had one of the only remodeled rooms. I was such a dick. I took the only remodeled room, the one with 2 king size beds, the TV. And everyone's like, "Are you gonna share?" No, fuck no. I ain't sharing with nobody. Anyway, so I'm
Well,
sitting
you
there
didn't
taking.
share. Daryl didn't share. And then
Hey, Daryl shared. Daryl shared his weed because I kept fucking sneaking over and stealing. anyway, so
oh, that's fucking horrible.
so I'm sitting there. I open the window. I just wake up. I'm about to do my business. I'm doing my business. Oh, number 2, Next thing you know, walking by the window, and I'm talking about like right fucking there at the window, Dylan. Dylan walks by. Hi. Hey, Dylan. The fuck? 10 seconds later. Hello. And I was like, hey, Dylan, you gotta go, bro. Like, I'm trying to take a shit here. Like, you gotta dip, man. But that is literally like one of a billion stories that literally happened at the gum. I wish Charles could jump on with us. Charles actually saved me from killing a dude. the drywaller little dude. What was his
How
name?
did
The guy.
Charles save you?
Charles saved him.
Oh,
No, you and
Daryl.
Daryl. Praise to both of you. I've told you and Daryl to your face. This dude tried to square up with me, try to like talk shit, and I was like, bro, I'm just gonna beat the fuck out of you. Just don't shut the fuck up, And he was just one of those dudes. Just kept going. I'm like, all right, let me go beat your ass. Disney and Daryl latched on to me, and God literally stood in front of me and said, "Don't." I was like, but I can get out of this. I can throw Disney down. Daryl ain't shit. And Charles is not even touching me. He wants nothing to do with this. And God was like, just let them hold you back. And I'm like, fine. But no, I was gonna destroy that dude's face, man. That whole, like, I'm telling you, that whole trip was just crazy. Blue gum. Everyone that went to the blue gum.
You still get an eye twitch whenever anyone calls you dog.
Hey dog. Hey dog. Hey dog. Hey dog. Christopher Disney, promoter, One Ring Circus, promoter, Rising Star Wrestling. Got a lot of things going on from San Diego's got a lot of things going on elsewhere. We got a lot of just things in the mix, and
You have no idea, bro.
no idea. But one of the things that I've always going to give you your props on is that you do give guys chances that have never gotten the chance. Like I said, just be more weary about that. Be selective about that. And just have some good fun out there, man. I know you guys are having. um, I know you guys are doing a lot of like working together out there, and I respect it. I'll leave it at that. I respect what's going on out there as far as everyone trying to work together officially and finally, and I think that's the ultimate goal. Also, just keep it going, man. Don't stop, and always try to be better. Be better than what you were yesterday. That's all I can. So I can fucking tell you, Diz.
I mean,
Disney.
what I do.
Disney doesn't know what to say. He's
Well,
great.
what the fuck do you want me to say? Oh, that sounds right. Yeah, it's a fortune cookie shit that, it's true. And it's something that you can't say I don't do or listen to. It may take me a while, but I listen to you when you speak.
I made Disney make those hats.
Now I fucking get pins from all the boys that are on the show, and I fucking be like, you should buy this hat so this way you got a place to put your pins when you buy the pins from the boys.
Smart. Yeah, Disney does listen to me. I I can call up Disney at 2 a.m. and say, "Hey, bro, I need you to come with me to the sketchy ass area." Because, yeah,
Hey, is there the guy on the stairs?
Fuck. Anyway, Disney, I appreciate
How did you
everything
fucking rope me into that one?
because you listen to everything.
That's a 2 hour long podcast in itself.
Which we should be doing anyway. We should be doing this on a regular. Just talk about some wrestling, talk about some other shit because we have a million stories, and I think we could just jump into some nerdy shit. We could talk about Deadpool all day. I could do that. So
I can't wait for the movie.
me neither. Me and you, we'll review it. We'll watch it. We'll review it. We can do something. Start reviewing all this because I know that Secret Wars is coming. I know it's coming. It's one of
In
the
like
things that
2 years.
I went down that super big rabbit hole about 5 years back, and I remember telling you like, hey man, like I remember bringing up something. You're like, oh yeah, this dude's fucking arming. I'm like, bro, relax. I'm just now getting into it. But definitely looking forward to the Secret Wars. Definitely looking forward to that because I don't know if I've ever told you, but I got this secret like obsession with you know how like video games have stories in them and you got to play and then you get to watch the story after, like so Mortal Kombat, you play the story version, like it'll send you through this whole story and then you like play and then like, the story. So
And
I have this weird thing where I go on YouTube and I'll literally watch the 3 hour movies of the video game. Like the other day I watched the Mortal Kombat 11's movie. It was like 3.5 hours. And it's like people are like, why do you do that? I'm like, I don't know, man. Cause sometimes it's just better than the fucking movies that are out, you know? Like it just is. Like I like the other day I watched God of War and what I
which
watched
one?
the one where he kills all the gods. Like
The
he
first one?
was it the first one where like he when he kills like Hades and fuck where he fights fucking
Where he fights Ares at the end?
nah Ares he kills in the beginning of this one.
So that's the second one.
Okay.
Because in
Yeah.
the first one he kills Ares. The second one, I think either Poseidon or Zeus. No, Poseidon or Hades. And then the third one, he fucking ganks Zeus.
Yeah.
Because then he kills the entire Greek pantheon in
Yeah.
the third.
Yeah. So the weakest kill was Hermes or whatever it was. I don't know. See, anyway, but I've been nerding out on all that kind of shit. Like, I don't play the games, but I'll literally watch the story movie, like the movies and shit, like the whole storyline. But yeah, that's been my obsession lately.
Oh,
So,
the two new ones were fucking. They made Kratos look like Triple H. Are amazing.
oh yeah. The guy who does the voice of that, I like that guy. He's been in a lot of fucking movies that I've watched and didn't realize it was him. I'm like, oh shit, that's the fucking voice of fucking Kratos. That guy's funny as fuck. He hates Call of Duty. He hates the creators of Call of Duty. Anyway, Christopher Disney, thank you for your time. I'm Gus. This was Mike W. Gus. Please like, please subscribe, please watch the shit. Please do not talk shit on my boy Disney, or I will come and squirt you in the face with a fucking water bottle full of alcohol and salt. I don't know where that just came from. Disney, I love you, brother.
Love you too, guys.
Good luck with everything. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk soon. So have a good night, my man.